Hey, good evening, everybody. My name's Shaq Mack. I'm the owner of the Delaware Dogs. Today, we are coming to you live on the Dog Report, and we're going to focus on something, at least once or twice a week. And what I want to try to do is on Mondays, I want to try to come live a little earlier on a Monday and do a mental health Monday and just really talk about mental health and how it plays a huge aspect into sports, the lives of athletes, and the lives of others as well. And so, like last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about mental health in sports and how it plays a role on athletes, and not just athletes, but just individuals as a whole. And so, one of the things after that show, I went and started putting some designs together, and I started looking, and I'm like, how can I, as the owner of the Delaware Dogs, start and look at supporting mental health and athletes at the same time? I've had a couple athletes that came to me personally and talked to me about how their mental health wasn't doing the best and different things like that, and that's okay, right? And so what I came up with was the idea of on the hoodie was support mental health, and then right under it here, um, can't see it now, but right under it in red, it says "No dog fights alone." So just think about it. Supporting mental health. Mental health has different faces. Mental health can come to you in the form of PTSD. It can come to you in the form of um, anxiety, depression. It's just a lot of different forms of mental health that we're looking at here. And so to know that there's a lot of people out there who have struggled with mental health, um, it breaks people's heart. It breaks my heart to know that there's people out here who struggle every single day with mental health, but there's not enough resources out there that people know how to utilize. And when people understand that there are resources out there for them and how to apply for them and how to go about that, it makes things a lot easier to kind of forecast and to shadow. And so one of the things that I like to do is I like to try to give back into the community. And so what we're doing with the hoodie that I'm wearing, the support mental health, no dog fights alone, is we are trying to give 15% of what we bring in from these hoodies that are sold and just donate it back to the resources of mental health and give back to the community and different things like that. And I know that we're going to be blessed and we're going to be able to take this to new heights. But I want to take my basketball team and I want to be able to give back to those who are struggling with mental health. How's it going, y'all, in the chat? Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing by showing the love and support. And so when I look at mental health for not only just myself, but for my athletes, I look at how they're performing on the court, how they're performing off the court, right? I like to build a professional relationship with my athletes, and I like to know uh, a lot about them on the personal side because when they come to practice, when they come to a game and they don't seem like themselves, they're just off a little bit, then I know that it is one of those things where they need somebody to talk to. And I'll pull them aside, hey, how's it going? And then be like, oh, they give you the answer, oh, it's good, it's good. No, no. How's it going? Like I really want to know how's it going? Like, how can I support you? And if I can support you in any way, I want to know. Support goes a long way when it comes to people dealing with mental health issues because they just need somebody to listen. And when you go that extra mile to say, hey, like, no, how's it going? I truly want to know how's it going. Then you can jump in and they can say, like, hey, like I'm struggling with this or I got this problem going on. And they know they got people that actually care about them. And so just know that when you take that extra step by just listening, it goes a long way. Also think about the situation and the facts of, hey, like, well, I just need a hug. I just need someone to just give a hug to. I just need someone to lean on. I need someone just to be there for me, right? A lot of times it takes all the effort, all the energy out of us just so we can admit that we're struggling and then that we need the help. And just know, like, if you do that, it's okay, because it takes a lot for you to get up there and say, "Hey, I'm struggling. I need the help." It takes a lot for you to get out there and say, "Hey, like, I really just need someone to talk to." It takes a lot for you to really admit that you're struggling, because when it comes to society, when you show your emotions, when you show that you are struggling, people judge you for what you're doing. And I'm here to say that, I applaud you, I respect you, and I appreciate you for showing your emotions, for showing that you are struggling, and that you just need someone to lean on, and that you need people there for you. And just know that you got a support system of people that's there cheering for you, that's rooting for you, that cares for you, that loves you and wants to see you do good. And I personally believe that if you have a circle of people that you hang out with every single day, and you can't find someone in that circle to talk to, find someone that you may be able to connect with outside of that circle and just talk with them. Be honest with them. Be vulnerable with them. I firmly believe that when you're honest about what you're going through and the emotions that you have, that it's going to allow you to take those next steps and saying, "Hey, like, I'm gonna be okay." When it comes to sports, there's a lot of times, and I know I said this last week, but there's a lot of times where we forget about the athletes. We push, we push, and we push for athletes to go out and to be better and to progress, but we forget that they're human as well, and that they need a break. Like, there's times where you may be able to play sport from high school and transition into college. Let's say you get, scouted to play Division 1, Division 2, or even Division 3. You never know. Your coach might have you practicing, 2 hours at 6 o'clock in the morning, and after your classes, you jumping right back in again to practice for another hour or two, and then shortly after dinner, you're probably jumping in for another 2 hour session or whatnot. And so you constantly putting a lot of stress on your body, but you're not really reciprocating that by taking care of your mental health, by taking the rest and the time that you need to recover. And that's okay to feel angry, to feel upset, but also you can't keep it bottled up either, because we don't read minds. We are not mind readers. We need to know when you're down, when you're not feeling yourself, because we want to be able to swarm around you and support you in any way possible. I know firsthand there's been many seasons in my life where I just needed that support. But I had the support of my small circle, the support of my church, the support of my family, the support of my friends, even the support of my dogs. My Delaware dogs. They come around and they support me as well. And I honestly say that I am blessed, because I have a strong support system to know that when I'm struggling, when I just say, "Oh, I'm good," they know they can read right through that. I got a really good friend of mine that he'll ask you, "Hey, how you doing? You good?" And then you say, "Yeah, I'm good." "No, but how you really doing? Like, are you really good?" And you he reads right through it, and that right there, like, I appreciate that, because it truly shows that he cares about you as a person more than the job that needs to get done. He cares more about your time and with your family, and the stuff that you do, and he values that time. And so, he doesn't want time to be wasted. And I really, really appreciate that I can learn from someone like that, and that I can grow to mimic that same kind of mindset. And with Mental Health Mondays, I want to jump in. It doesn't have to be 2 hours long, 3 hours long, or however the case may be, but I want to jump in. I want to learn. I want to grow as a community, right? I want to be able to find resources out there. I want to listen to the chat and hear some insights that you might have on mental health. I want to bring people in who may be an expert in um, this subject of mental health and how it affects, athletes. I've said this before too. Your mental health can be affected by an injury that you have on and off the court, on and off the field. You name it, it is there. Mental health is real. It is something that we should not overlook. I've seen time and time again where loved ones have lost someone that played a sport to suicide due to mental health. It's sad, it hurts, and it's something that we often overlook because we don't know how to handle situations like this because we don't study, we don't educate ourselves, we don't know about the resources that are out there to give help to someone that may need it. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to get the number to, a crisis line that if you are struggling with mental health, you can call that line and you can get the resources and the help that you need from this line or whatnot. If you are struggling with mental health and you feel like you can just talk with me, reach out. I'll be here to listen. If I know you, I can sit here and listen. If I don't know you, I'll still sit here and listen. I'm not going to say I know everything about the subject. I'm not going to say that the best in the world about giving advice or just sitting here and listening. But I do know that I am able to give back that shoulder that you can lean on. I know that I'm able to just trust that God's got our back and that God's going to take the situation at hand and he's going to do something good with it. He's going to work miracles. And I pray that if you are struggling with mental health in some way, shape, or form, that you seek the help that you need to get through this season in your life. What I don't want to see and what I really am discouraged about is that we have a lot of pro athletes, college athletes, even high school athletes that get put under pressure that really need the support and really need the help. That way they are not going out and doing something that one could ruin their career or two that could end their life. And I want to build up a community of support that we can come together and we can grow Mental Health Mondays where we really learn more about mental health in general as a whole. And I'm here. I want to be able to prove that you can trust me and that you can build up a circle of people that you can trust, that you can talk to, and just really say, hey, like I just need help, or hey, I'm struggling. What can I do? One of the things that I've learned about mental health and athletes is that there's not enough resources in the collegiate world for athletes to take advantage of. Just think about how much time that athletes spend in school alone for their classes, but then you turn around and how much time are they spending practicing? How much time are they spending playing in a game? Different things like that. Whatever happened to the fun in basketball? Whatever happened to the fun in sports in general, right? Because it is supposed to be fun, and we make it to where it has to be competitive and not fun anymore. We make it to where it is all about us and not about the people on the court or the people on the field. I want to be able to do something different. It goes back to even, uh, you know, Christians who play sports, can they play sports and still be competitive? You know, it's like, oh, well, if I get upset, am I, considered a bad person? And different things like that. Like, it's the same thing when it comes to our mental health is, oh, are we using mental health as an excuse, or are we really going through something? And I've seen, firsthand both sides of that, because I've seen it to where, athletes have used this as an excuse to miss practice, to miss games. But I've seen it as, an opportunity for coaches to learn about their athletes that they have under them, and how they can progress differently, and how they learn differently, and what's going to aggravate them and stress them out, and what's going to hinder them when it comes to their mental health. It could be to where, let's say, you're used to playing 28 minutes a game out of a 48-minute game. So if you're playing 28 minutes out of that 48 minutes, and then you get a new coach, and then your minutes drop down, that's going to affect your game mentally. You're going to be throwing off your game. So how do you fix that as an athlete? How do you grow from that? How do you learn to play a different role in that situation, in that position? There's a lot that you have to learn when it comes to the change. And that's another thing, is sometimes change can be good, sometimes change can be bad. But change often can affect your thought process. It can affect your mental health. And what I've learned, because I saw this while coaching high school basketball, I saw this while I was, working at summer camps, is you go into an organization and they're struggling and they ask for your help. But then they say, oh, we do this, this, and this. So why are you doing this? Well, because we've always done it this way. So sometimes that tells me that some people or some person in the organization is uncomfortable with change, because it throws their day-to-day schedule off, or their thought process off, and it will affect their mental health. It will affect their thought process. And then they say, well, we always done it this way, so we're used to doing it, so we want to keep it this way. So then the answer that comes back is, well, if we always done things this way, we wouldn't be in a situation that we're in today. But just look at how, if you practice positive mental health strategies, for me, that was shooting basketball just alone, just shooting hoops by myself, hitting the gym, uh, just working out. I took some, Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes, and I had fun doing that. But that was also another, like, positive stress reliever, practicing good mental health habits. On top of that, like, it's just doing yoga. I've done some yoga, my fair share of yoga, and it helps. But just think how your thought process changes from your day-to-day activities based off of what you do when your mental health isn't right and isn't stable. I know that it becomes more of a challenge for people who really struggle with mental health to speak up about it, because you don't know how you're going to be judged. And that's why the world we live in society is so messed up. It's such a dark place, because we're constantly judging people and beating people down because they're going through something. If somebody was going through something and they came to you and you helped them out, just think, I gave that person a hug. That person was going through something, and they asked you for $5, and you laughed in their face because they asked you for $5. But just think, if you would have gave them that $5, how that could have changed their thought process and that mindset, and how grateful they would have been just for $5. I don't know what they would have spent the money on. I don't know what would have happened. But just think, if someone came to you and said, "Hey, I really just need $5. I'm having a bad day. I'm struggling. I need to get something." How fast it changes someone's thought process to know that someone cares about them and that someone loves them. Think about times where you were struggling and how you reached out to someone and the response they gave you and how it made you feel. I want to be able to grow resources to help develop men and women who play sports to be powerful, to have a strong thought process and mental health, but also to be vulnerable, to be open, to be honest, to really just say, "Hey, I'm not doing okay," because if I don't know you're not okay, how can I help you? I need to be able to have some type of foundation to work off of to kind of help you out in a sense. And one thing that I realized too is like, if you come to me and say, "Hey, I'm struggling," but you're not giving me no details as I'm asking open-ended questions, it really is challenging. And I know it's hard for you to even open up with just a, "Hey, I'm struggling," but it took a lot of strength and power and encouragement for you to even to reach out and say, "Hey, I'm struggling." Is you made the first step by reaching out and say, "Hey, I'm struggling." But after that, you started doing, the next thing is trying to get the resources that you need. And so I want to let you guys know that if you need anything, if you are struggling, reach out. Reach out on social media. Dogs basketball. And you can see the logo right there in the corner, right behind me here as well. It is the dog with the basketball in the hand. You go find Dogs Basketball on Facebook, and you see that logo in the corner there. That's us. If you go to Instagram and you look up dogs underscore basketball underscore, and you see that same logo, that's us. Reach out, send us a message. Let us know what's going on because we want to support. We want to help you out. If there's any resources that we can find and get you the support that you need, let us know because that's what we want to do. We want to help. We appreciate each and every one of you guys because you all mean something. You all are important. You all are loved. And you all are cared for. And so know that as a basketball owner, as a sports owner, one of my sole purposes with owning that team is I want to be able to build a personal relationship with all my athletes. Meaning, I want to be able to say, "Hey, how's it going today? Hey, how's your family doing?" Just the other day, I got to enjoy a beautiful moment of bringing my daughter into this world and just being there for the birth of my daughter. And once my players, my athletes found out, my coaches, they found out that my daughter was born and that she was healthy, they reached out and they congratulated me. But it can be a stressful time as well because there's a lot of unknowns, there's a lot of uncertainties. And for them to reach out and say, hey, I'm praying for you. You need anything, reach out, let us know. Hey, what you need? Hey, how's the baby? Hey, how's your family doing? It took a lot for them to even support me in that way. But my support system from churches and just friends and in the small groups that I got, they were praying for me, and they were praying for my family, and they were praying for my daughter, and to know that a lot of people were praying for us, and praying that everything was going to be okay so we can get discharged to come home. It just brought a lot of stress down, like mental health wise. It was just a sense of relief, you know. And now, you know, you can count on those people that prayed for you. You can count on those people that supported you. You can count on those people that really was there since day zero. A part of supporting someone with mental health is body language. Your body language speaks a lot about how you care for someone and how you show support for someone. Your body language shows a lot about who you are as a person. Because if you come to me and say, hey, I'm struggling, and that my body language is making eye contact with you, I'm sympathizing with you, I'm showing empathy. Hey, like, what's going on? How can I help you? Can I pray for you? What kind of support do you need? Do you need resources? I'm trying to do my best to support you. I'm firm, like up and down. I'm making that eye contact, firm handshake, hug, to show support and empathy. Whereas, like, if you came to me and said, hey, I'm struggling, I need support, and then I go, oh man, not again. Like, my body language, it says it all. Like, really? Like, do you ever want to come talk to me again? Probably not. But it's how you approach the subject of the person that's coming to you and talking to you. And it's about how you present yourself. Perception is everything. I've learned that the hard way. I didn't even know what perception was until about 5 years ago. And someone was like, do you know what perception is? And I'm like, no, never heard the word before. And they broke it down about what perception really was and how people can perceive one thing, but your intentions is something else. And so if you come to me and I'm like making eye contact, I'm showing that support, that empathy, and the love by giving you a hug, letting you cry on my shoulder, offering you these resources and different things like that. The perception of that is that man really cares about the person that's in front of him. That man's listening. That man's showing the support. Whereas if you came to me and I'm like, not again, man. Like, what is it now? You always got a problem. You always got this. You always got that. And I'm like, dang, man, I'm sorry. I can't help you. The perception of that is that people look at it as though that person came to you for help. You just turned that person away. Just think about how that makes you feel. It's like I'm already struggling with my mental health as it is. And I just came to this guy and asked him for help and support. And they turned me away. Think about how you can grow when someone is there with you. One of the biggest things that I've learned is that I can't get upset or angry about anything that is out of my control. But I can determine the outcome of things in my control. And what I mean by determining the outcome of things in my control is hey, you came to me, you struggling with something, I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to turn my back. And I'm going to do my best to check in as often as possible to ensure that you are getting the support and the help that you need. Sometimes that's all we need is people to sit there and to listen and care about what we're talking about. Sometimes we may not even have the opportunity to have someone in our life to just sit there and listen about what's going on our day to day. A lot of times, athletes that struggle with mental health go directly to their coaches and talk about their struggles because it's someone that they can go to and trust. It's someone that they're comfortable with, that they already know. And there's always going to be coaches out there that mess that up. I'm not saying every coach is going to do that. I'm not saying every coach is perfect or whatnot, but there's going to be coaches out there that will mess it up. But that's okay because nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. But I want to challenge coaches to check in on your players, check in on your athletes, see how they're doing. Instead of having, practice every single day and it's all about practice, watching film and just playing basketball or any sport like that, take a day of practice where your players can just sit and meditate and reflect on their life, their mental health, and get their mind right again. And see how the chemistry of your team changes for the good. Think about how that could change the dynamic of the team. Think about how not only do the players need that break, but you as the coach and the staff need that break as well. It's just time just to let it out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just let it out. I'm challenging the players, the athletes to speak up and let your coaches know when you're struggling with something. Because know that we can't read your mind. And just as much as you as the player can go to your coach and reach out and say, hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I need help. I need this. I need that. The reverse thing as well is the coach might come to you and say, hey, I just need someone to talk to that is not on my coaching staff. I just need someone that I can get a different point of view on. Is that always the right thing to do? Probably not. But if that's going to save someone's life, then so be it. You can't be afraid to get help. You got to be able to speak up and speak out on the injustice and what's actually going on in your life. Like I said before, I want to be able to support anyone that may be struggling mentally with anything. I want to be that opening shoulder that people can lean on. I'm not going to be able to solve your problems, but I can get you resources. I can point you in the right direction. I can listen. I am no expert in this subject matter at all, but I can get you the support, the help, and the resources that you may need. And know that if you try to do it by yourself, it might become difficult and difficult and difficult to do as the day goes on. But if you try to do it with someone else by your side, when you pray, you trust God, and you know that God's got your back, that God is going to work. God is going to work for the good through every situation. And I pray that if you are struggling mentally with anything, that you give it to God, that you get the help that you need, get the support that you need, and know that through it all, if you don't do it by yourself and you do it with other people around, you will become stronger. It's going to help you and the people around you when you do it as a team. Knowing that athletes struggle with mental health every single day because body language is a key factor, and it may seem like people don't care. And the perspective of that person's body language shows that they don't care. It hurts because that person might just be having a rough day himself. And because their body language says otherwise, you don't go to that person. And then you turn around and do something that you regret. Yo, 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 what's going on out the pit? How's it going? How's it going? Body language, it plays a huge factor in determining who people can go to that they trust. And it plays a big factor in determining how you go about the situation that you're in. Knowing that if you are struggling, if I see one of my athletes struggling and they sitting on the sideline and they got their head down and they not being themselves, I'm gonna walk over to them and say, "Hey, what's going on? You don't seem yourself today. Are you good? How can I help you? How's the family doing?" I'm showing that I care about my athletes. And if I don't have the opportunity to walk over to them during practice and talk to them, I'll send them a message afterwards. "Hey, I seen that you were struggling a little bit. I seen that you had your head down. What's going on? You good? You good? What's really going on? Because I want to know. I want to be able to support you in any way possible." And that's the whole point behind this Mental Health Monday, is to start something new, something different, to bring a voice that's going to speak out using a platform that we have to speak out about mental health. We shouldn't just be celebrating mental health for just a month. This is something that people struggle with every single day. And that's why the logo was created. Support mental health. No dog fights alone. You are not alone in this battle. You are not alone in this cold world. And you are not alone when you are going through those mental battles at all. If you feel like you got to go to someone and talk to them because of whatever it may be, and their body language isn't just the best, just ask them a few questions. Talk to them. "Hey, like, are you busy? I need to talk to you about something." Like, this isn't like a 911 drop everything, we need to talk. And then they drop everything and they listen and they're supporting you. You got somebody that you can trust and go to. But if you go to a coach or somebody within that athletic program and say, "Hey, I need to talk to you," and they say, "Not right now," second guess if you can actually go talk to that person. That person might just be too busy, and that's okay, because that person's priorities is somewhere else. But find somebody in that staff that you can trust and go to that's going to prioritize you. One of the things that I've learned, especially at work, is you got to prioritize yourself, because no matter what company you work for, if you leave or you get fired, they going to replace you because you are just a number to them. And one of the things that I'm working on and that I'm learning the hard way is prioritizing myself and my family, but as a basketball owner, a football owner, soon to be soccer owner, different things, whatever. As an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, what I'm trying to prioritize is looking out for the well-being of my athletes and making sure that they are good and that they're being taken care of before anything else. Because it's just a game that we play. Yeah, bragging rights are involved. Yeah, you got everything going on and you want to win championships and all of that stuff. But how can you build a championship caliber team if you don't care about the players in your circle? It's hard. It is challenging. But this platform on Mental Health Mondays is going to help me build a platform, a community that people can come to and talk directly to me, where I may have the opportunity of bringing different mental health professionals on that can give you the advice that you may need to get resources and different things like that. I'm praying that next week on Monday, somewhere around the 8 o'clock hour, we might be able to bring someone in that can talk about mental health and different resources that may be out there for people, because your life matters. I'm big on supporting people. I'm big on supporting small businesses. I'm big on supporting those that have been around since the beginning. For example, we're in our second year as a basketball team, and we're winning games now. Last year we didn't do so well, but this year we're winning games. We're building up a dynasty. We're building a foundation up and different things like that. But I know which athletes have been here since day one, and I know which athletes have just joined the party just because we're winning games and stuff like that. But we take care of those who help take care of us. And knowing that it starts with just a simple conversation. It starts with, hey, I'm not doing so well. Hey, I need help. I need that helping hand. I need the support. Because just think about how I wouldn't have been where I was at because I was so stressed out mentally that I had to run a full basketball team and different things like that all around the place. And it was hard to do. My daughter, she was just born last year when we had the basketball team up and running, and having her at the games and trying to make sure she was okay and that the teams were running smoothly, coaching them, game day operations and different things like that. It was a struggle. It was hard to do. But then I started networking through my players, and they started bringing different people in, and they started helping me grow the basketball team. But they helped save me from a lot of stress and a lot of days where I'm just like, man, I can't do it no more. I just want to shut down operation and just get rid of it all. But I got the support that I needed. I got the help that I needed, and I was able to push forward. And by the grace of God, we are where we are today. And I don't have to struggle mentally knowing that I'm not with the team right now, and they're still taking care of the business that they need to take care of. They're still handling the things that they need to handle to be successful. They're out there sacrificing their time with their families and loved ones to play a game that they love and then one day hopes that they can get drafted to play professionally either overseas or in the NBA. And my goal is to do more research and learn to help them reach their goals and see them grow and to see them prosper. But outside of that, my goal is to see Mental Health Mondays grow. Let's bring in more people to talk about mental health, to be open and vulnerable about their mental health status. That way, people know that there are people out there that are struggling with the same thing that they're struggling with, and that they can get the support and the help that they need. This is just the beginning of something greater that we're starting here. And no, it's going to be amazing when you see it happen. But that's all I got for this week, guys, for Mental Health Monday. I'm going to close it out here, but I look forward to seeing everybody come next week to Mental Health Monday and really bring some questions next week. You know, let's engage in the chat. Let's talk about different things like that. That way we can grow together on the mental health side of things and how we can learn how to improve our mental health and different things like that. And so, again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for just listening to me talk for the last, 45 minutes to an hour. I look forward to really, again, like I said, growing this Mental Health Monday, bringing in different people that specialize in mental health and giving us the resources and different things that we may need to help us progress mentally to be the best version of ourselves every single day. So until next time, guys, you have a blessed and safe day. And remember, give it all to God. I'll see you next week.